This is Ken Walker in the Academic Resource Center. Good morning, I'm Ken Walker in the Academic Resource Center. I'm Ken Walker. I'm Walker from the Academic Resource Center, bringing you the academic tip of the day. Today is Wednesday, November 19th, which means that a week from this afternoon, students will start leaving the college and going home for Thanksgiving. And when they return, it'll be December, which means we'll be heading into the final exam period. So this week in the College Achievement Program that we offer out of the Academic Resource Center for first-year students, we're starting to talk about how to begin to prepare for finals, what to expect, what is the finals period like. So today for the academic tip, I just want to open this conversation or begin this conversation so that if you're unfamiliar with the final exam period, we tell you a little bit about it today with this academic tip, but then we have some workshops coming up in the future that I think will help you. So to begin with, I would just like to talk a little bit about the dates of the finals period, so you know a little bit about that, and then you can start preparing for it as early as today. So the finals, the last class will be Wednesday, December 10th, and then after Wednesday, December 10th, and Thursday, December 11th, and December 12th, we have 2 reading days. And then there's a Saturday, which is the 13th, which there could be exams for some students, and then there's Sunday, which there will be no exams on Sunday, and then the following week, the entire week, Monday through Friday, there are final exams. But first, I just want to say something about reading day, because many first-year students don't really understand what reading day is, or in this case, this year, what the 2 reading days are. Reading days are essentially days off, that you have no responsibilities in your courses, unless maybe your faculty member arranges some kind of a review or workshop or something, but you have no classes on reading days. Your classes end on Wednesday, the day before the 2 reading days. So potentially for students, they could have the entire afternoon off on Wednesday, all of Thursday, all of Friday, and for some, they could have an exam on Saturday. On Saturday, there could be an exam, possibly 2, although hopefully that wouldn't happen. And then Sunday is off again, there are no exams on Sundays, and then on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, there could be an exam for you. So one of the things you might want to start thinking about or preparing for is potentially having 2.5 days off before an exam. Or if you don't have an exam on that Saturday, your first exam is sometime here on that Monday, you could have 4.5 days off before your first exam. And I think it's a good idea to think about what you're going to do with that time. How are you going to use that time well, and how not to waste the valuable time that you have before your exam. And today, the purpose of today's academic tip is not to really get into that, what you should be doing, but for now, you might want to start thinking about this as you prepare. Even as you go home for Thanksgiving, you might be wondering whether or not, if you have a lot of time off for an exam, before an exam, should you be going home if you live close by and studying at home, or using some of the facilities that you have nearby your house, such as a library. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is simply explain that that's what reading day is for. These are days, we have 2 this year, that you can use to start preparing for to prepare for your exams. And then also might want to consider that Sunday between Saturday and Monday where there are exams, that Sunday should also be considered a reading day in which you use that for preparing for your exams. Okay, so that's reading day. The other thing you might want to start looking at right now is to make sure you understand the final exam schedule. I have the fall semester schedule of classes that some of you might have in print, but if you don't have this, all you need to do is go to the St. Anselm website and type exam schedule, and you'll get the same thing on the back, the final exam schedule. And I'm not really going to go through this with you today. If you take a look at it, you can figure out how to navigate it. If not, we have an upcoming workshop on Monday, this coming Monday, at 4 o'clock in the Learning Commons of the new hall, in which we'll walk through the final exam schedule for students who've never used this before. But with that final exam schedule, you want to make sure that you know exactly when your exams are. Exams are 2 hours long, so they'll either be from 9 in the morning till 11 o'clock in the morning, or 1 in the afternoon to 3 o'clock, unless you have a late afternoon or an early evening class, and then there'll be the exams will be later in the day. But it is a good idea for you to figure that out now, because you can be confirming with your faculty member that yes, this is when the exam will take place, and then you can also use that as an opportunity to ask about the nature of the final exam. Will it be cumulative? How cumulative will it be? Will it be everything from the first exam on, or from the beginning of the semester? So you could be asking that question. So spend some time with that final exam schedule so you can understand when so you know for sure when your exams are. There are a couple other things you can think about now, and then we'll have some more academic tips in the next few days to go through some of the other ways you can prepare your notes and prepare for the exam. But one thing I want you to think about, a couple of things I would like you to think about, is that the culture will change here during the final exam period. For instance, you may have the same location that you're using to study now, whether it's in the library or here in the Academic Resource Center or Davison Hall, the coffee shop. All that will change during the final exam period. The location that you use to study may be taken by somebody else if you're not aggressive about locking down that space for studying. So keep that in mind, that what you're used to may not be there for you when it comes time to study. Davison Hall has a little bit different schedule in the morning, so a lot of students are getting up to go to take a 9 o'clock exam. They might try to get down to Davison for 8 o'clock or 8:15 for breakfast and then brush up on notes before going to the exam. If you're planning on this, you might go down there and find a long line, and that's because many people could be taking the 9 o'clock exam. So it's a good idea during the final exam period to think about that you might want to get down to Davison a little bit earlier so you can guarantee to have a breakfast. You'd be guaranteed to have a breakfast, and you have a few minutes to look over your notes before going to your exam. You don't want to go to an exam hungry. So keep that in mind. The schedule might be the same at noontime for everybody taking a 1 o'clock exam. People could be all lined up in there at 12 o'clock getting ready and then having something to eat. So those are just a few of the things you want to think about as we move toward the final exam period. Again, we have workshops coming up that will take you through more of the details of preparation for the exams. In fact, this afternoon we have a workshop at 4:30 here in the Academic Resource Center, and the title of that workshop is Seminar Skills in Public Speaking. Why would you want to attend a workshop about seminar skills at the end of the semester? Well, because one of the things we actually encourage students to do in a course like Conversatio or any other seminar class or any course that gives credit for participation is finish strong. In the last couple weeks of the semester, that would be a good time to really start participating a lot more in class, because it could leave a good lasting impression with the faculty member. So attending this afternoon's workshop at 4:30 could be a way of preparing for the end of the semester and leading up into the final exam period. Okay, so that's the academic tip of the day. We'll look forward to seeing you here at the Academic Resource Center, and stay tuned tomorrow for the next academic tip. Thank you.